Better watch out. I'm feeling a little touchy.
Now, go on. I'm tired of y'all with the Gooner skin.
Come on with the Gooner skins, man. We seen them features. Them jiggle mechanics. Come on, man.
Night, sugar.
She kind of like her. Okay, that was the Rogue trailer. So I'm gonna let Slice go off first impressions first before I start talking. Actually, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so first impression for Rogue's gameplay. Honestly, unfortunately, the first thing that I noticed was the jiggle mechanics and the definition on Gooner features. But I should be used to that now, considering that we've been playing Rivals since season 0. But overall, I noticed that her melee or her primary is actually very quick for a tank. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, well, I mean, the tanks have pretty quick primaries, but for her to be a melee character and her melee be that quick, it's almost as fast as Iron Fist, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
That's a little bit concerning, but at the same time, I do like the way that they're trying to gel multiple like positions together. So you could argue that Gambit is like a duelist strategist, while Rogue looks like a DPS tank hybrid. You know, she can definitely be very damage centric. I do love the fact a lot of her moves. It looks like her moveset is going to be very complicated. It doesn't look like she's going to be easy to master.
Yeah,
she might, you know. My bad, what you say?
I was about to pause there. I was trying to see how many buttons her kit had. It looked like she had like a lot of inputs. But yeah, go ahead.
Sheesh, I didn't even notice that. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you characters have like 3 inputs, like maybe 3. You might see 4 on like a strategist or something with an extra button. But yeah, she got 5 off a rip.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like we said, especially for a tank, she might in fact have the most amount of inputs for a tank. Yeah. And 5 is a lot, bro. So I don't think she's going to be simple. Obviously, you know, we'll have to deal with the insta-lock, you know, probably not being able to use her. But overall, her gameplay looks pretty solid. Her ability stealing, they did not let down with that at all. I really feel as though they cooked with that. Especially, I love that scene where she stole Psylocke's power and she almost mocked her by saying the same thing, like sayonara, in like a little mocking tone. That was fire, bro. So I'm liking it so far. What you think, bro?
No, it's dope, bro. Like I was really scared to see how they was going to do her power stealing abilities, but I knew that it was going to fit in the game, right? From a game development standpoint, it's kind of like they already have all the kits in the game, so they could just put it into her kit. So I want to see how that was done, because I mean, this is kind of my first hero shooter, so I don't know if it's been done before, but that's pretty innovative. Then her melee, it is pretty quick off rip, so I'm a little bit scared because she kind of remind me of Cat with her combos, but I feel like she's gonna be a big brain player, because you said she was like more like a Vanguard, a tank duelist, right? A tank DPS, and I feel like over time, like she's gonna be like really a big brain character, because you can see her doing with the power steal ability. She could be a tank strategist, right? A tank DPS, and she can switch roles depending on who playing her, and that's also gonna be interesting too from a content creator perspective. Like, bro, this person play Rogue way different than this person. It's kind of like how Gambit is. Like, some people play Gambit and are master healers, some people are good balance, and some people are only DPS. So I want to see how she's going to go, and I think she's going to be broken from the jump, because all the last few characters been broken, but it's really nothing too much to say. That melee is a little bit fast. I already see her getting nerfed. And then she kind of remind me also, like, she's like a mix between Cap and Emma with the, I don't know if those are shields or not, like those crystals or whatever she's doing, but she also seems like she's going to be a Emma buster for the other team, because Emma has kind of been at the top, in my opinion, of the food chain with the melee for the tanks, with the choke slam and stuff like that. So now you got another heavy hitter, literally, as the jiggle mechanics are flying on the screen type shit. So yeah, that's my thought on her actual skin. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, you definitely made some great points, bro. I didn't even think about that as far as her really being like a one of a kind with her ability stealing powers. she could literally be a tank healer, a tank DPS, or just a solid straight up tank. You know what I mean? She can steal all three roles.
Yeah.
So I saw that she could steal Doctor Strange's shield. She could steal Iron Fist's little healing ability. Psylocke's DPS. So, it's who's telling, how many characters she can steal and what abilities from every character she can steal. So, and then you made another great point as far as comparing her to Emma Frost. Emma Frost has been running the tanks high and low elo since she came out, bruh.
Yes.
You feel me? So, I am glad that she's finally going to be able to have somebody boxing with her, or if not better than her, because I am tired of Emma Frost. And she also got a fake nerf, but low-key a buff at the same time. That's why I said
she never gets nerfed,
so.
Bro. They be like, yeah, they're supposed to nerf her this season. I'm like, bro, I don't really. I mean, she wasn't as powerful as she was last season, but it's still like, damn, the right Emma is a problem.
Literally, and I'm seeing more and more Emmas, more and more I load up, more and more Lord Emmas, the more I load up rivals, bro. Yeah. So I think everybody's hit now.
She also has a shield mechanic herself from the start. Like, she puts up both her arms and do it that way, I was seeing. So it's like they kind of making her like really durable. I don't think you could really lose with this. And then what did they show her ult at all? Is the ult just the power stealing? Because that might be something where I have contention with, because if her ult is power stealing, then I'm like, damn, I wanted that to be kind of in her base, because we already got the power stealing ult from Loki a little bit type, and this is already in the nature of her character, so I think it should be a natural thing and just have like a timeout on when you could do the abilities. And then the last thing I'll probably say about her is, like, imagine being on the tank and you don't never have to switch your character, because you can steal the power or do whatever to match whatever you got to counter on the other squad. Like, that's just pretty cool. Like, when I'm playing Cap and shit, it's anti-dive, it's like, okay, like, I gotta change up. But she could obviously just change her kit. She might, I don't know, get a tank power that makes it relatable to that whatever situation she in. And I think that's another dope thing, without even having to switch the character that you playing.
Yeah, that's another great point you made, bro. You really, if you can really master Rogue, you really won't have to switch at all, because whatever they're trying to counter you with, you could literally just counter their counter without switching. Yeah. Just steal that counter's power. So that's good. But one thing I did notice, that's probably the last thing I'll say as well, is her ultimate is actually not the ability stealing, because watch right here, she just stole the ability, and she still has her ult. She still has her ult. So that's, I don't know, my one concern is I don't know how long the cooldown is going to be. It's got to be long enough to where it's not completely broken, and then not, too long to where you're only doing it like once a match, maybe twice.
Yeah, it got to be a happy medium. From what I seen from I think it's Flats on TikTok. He's one of those big Marvel Rivals content creators, and he probably live playing her right now and reviewing it. But I think that she has like a bar on the side that she has to fill up to steal the person's powers, and then that bar has to slowly drain before she goes back to her base self. I think that I'm not sure what the timing is and the timer on that too, but it's going to have to be a happy medium. And when they do patch her or whatever, that's probably going to be the change in time. Like, you know how it'd be like, well, her power ability recharge went from 8 seconds to 10 or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I definitely could see that potentially getting nerfed. But like we said, we'll just really have to wait for her to officially drop. She drops Friday, so let's see. That's
dope. We got a few different days. Okay, that was Rogue, and then we got 4 minutes of Guang Guang. So let's see if it's Guang is bullshit or he being real right now, because there's mixed reactions with Guangi and the community. Let me let this dog out the room too. 1 second. Get your ass.
Definitely mixed reactions with Guang Guang. I trust AI Guang Guang more than the real Guang Guang, bro. At least AI Guang Guang gonna keep it real.
Hey, yo. I feel like Guang Guang it's like the age-old scapegoat for like when something go wrong, because there's probably so many game devs. It's kind of like Ronnie. He remind me of Ronnie 2K. Like, are you just the face of all the bullshit, or are you the main one? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure if he the leader or whatever, but it just seemed like he don't be making like the AI videos be making fun of him, and he's not making all the decisions and shit like that. It's somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, 1000%. That's a perfect analogy. He's like the Ronnie 2K of Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
That's the perfect analogy.
Yeah, he the Ronnie 2K of Marvel Rivals. Like, you gonna catch all this shit when it's good and when it's bad. Like, but let's get without further ado. Let's get.
Hello everyone, Guang Guang here. It's fantastic to see you all again. Welcome to Season 5.5 of Marvel Rivals. Season 5 shows Gambit pull off a daring heist within the Collector's Museum, stealing the contract the Grandmaster was after, but the Collector was one step ahead, having hidden a real contract elsewhere. When Rogue awoke in the middle of the night to find Gambit missing, both Remy's mission and their sweet honeymoon began to unravel. Disappointed and hurt, Rogue's anger boiled over, making it even harder to control the new powers she gained after accidentally touching the Columbium die. Now, in Season 5.5, Rogue makes her debut in Marvel Rivals. She enters the fray as a vanguard, combining her immense strength with Columbium energy. Rogue charges into enemy lines with powerful melee abilities, opening opportunities for her team. Of course, we haven't forgotten her signature ability, Power Absorption. During battle, Rogue can take down an enemy hero and absorb abilities from them, gaining a basic buff based on their role. She may even steal a signature ability, like Doctor Strange's Shield of the Seraphim or Loki's Regeneration Domain. And that's not all. When Rogue activates her ultimate, she continuously drains ultimate ability energy from nearby enemies, giving her team the edge and gaining further buffs based on their roles, making her a true powerhouse on the battlefield. This update brings another round of team-up ability changes. We are removing the mental projection team-up ability between Emma Frost and Psylocke. Emma Frost will now join Chilling Assault, gaining the new ability Ice Out Diamond. She can unleash a cone of frost to slow enemies and use her diamond form to create a wall of diamond ice, blocking enemy movement. Psylocke joins Sword of Duality, gaining control over light and dark energy. With light energy, she throws a returning shuriken that damages enemies and heals allies. When it returns, it heals Psylocke based on the number of targets hit. With dark energy, she scatters a ring of dust, damaging enemies in range and entering a phase state, becoming invisible. Rogue joins Explosive Entanglement.
Hey yo, they petty.
Gambit channels kinetic energy
No
into Rogue,
smiling about
and when she activates the ability, every attack she makes damages enemies around her and heals nearby allies. The full balance patch notes will be released in a few hours. Stay tuned.
Okay. Jeff's Winter Holidays.
Jeff's Winter.
Go on.
This map features an all-new 3-way brawl with 3 unique Jeff builds, each with their own skill set, bringing even more fun and color to the winter season.
I like the little wacky shit they be doing.
We have a series of holiday and
That Daredevil skin is crazy. That's comic accurate crazy.
Who is the Nutcracker? Is that who is this Star-Lord?
That's gotta be Star-Lord, bro. I can't see it being nobody else.
Emblem. This is.
But he don't have any guns though. Hold up.
Oh no. And then this is
Fantastic? I don't know.
This is like the little emblem that they have for the Guardians, the little fire, whatever the thing. But I might be wrong. But he a little bit stocky on the joint, so it could be somebody else.
Winter themed costumes and festive events line up.
Okay, that's icy. Okay,
that Cloak and Dagger skin is crazy. Penny skin is hard too, though. Like an abominable Yeti or a snowman or something.
Abominable spider. Shit hard.
Everyone celebrate this joyful time of year. Jeff's Winter Space Festival
I was ready to
and
skip
all
over
the
that a little
holiday
bit.
special
Okay.
events kick off right after the December 18th update. Get ready. Test update. Eat it. And
Wait a minute. I didn't see this.
also available after the December 18th.
No, wait a minute. What's happening in Times Square?
And don't miss the all-new mystery burger
Get the
at Pim's Test Kitchen in Times Square. Also available after the December
What is this?
18th
What purpose
update.
did this serve?
Eat it, and you might be surprised by the results.
Okay. You gonna get. You gonna
智勇
grow
is
up.
still working on balance changes.
They put blue cheese.
Stay
in
tuned
the,
for news on
in the
balance and
hamburgers.
detailed team-up ability
Fuck around.
changes.
Pink
And
dog.
as always,
Yo,
ignite the
chill. All right. Well, that was a lot that he digested. I kind of want to let him cook a little bit on that. But he answered my question from the Rogue joint, which is pretty interesting because the damage amplifier kind of gets looked, well, for a long time got looked down upon. So I know that her ult is not doing damage or squad wiping, but I think that it might get looked down upon if the right person ain't using it. But that's really useful, especially when you got a Moon Knight that's ulting all the time, when you got a CND that's ulting, when you got a Storm that's ulting every 5 minutes. You got somebody that's kind of like countering that. What you think?
Yeah, nah, for sure. Definitely, that'll come in handy with those alt spammers, like you said, a Moon Knight, C&D, even a Squirrel Girl. You know, they get their alt just like that. So having a rogue could definitely mitigate that. So that's smart. I like that.
Yeah, so that was the main thing that she answered about Rogue. We kind of went over the kid again, and that's cool. The only other question I have about her, kind of still leading off from the last topic, is do you pick the ability that you get, or do you steal the ability that the person was doing? Like, I'm confused on how, because it looks like they only give you one ability in your kit when you power absorb. Or does each character you can only steal whatever ability? Like, for Strange, is it always a shield? For Psylocke, is it always the Sovereign Hour disappearing? I don't know what's it actually called, but yeah. So that'd be my other question on that. What you think should be the best way for that to go? Like, how do you think they should play that?
So how I think is also what I believe I've seen. I just don't remember who I watched, but I did see I swear I saw some early gameplay of Rogue. And within that, it looks like that there's a preset ability, so she can only steal one ability, but she can't control which one she steals.
Okay.
It's automatically just incorporated into whoever's ability she's taking. So I think as long as it's like that, as long as the ability that's taken makes sense, I think that can be pretty fair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it would make a little bit more sense to allow the user to be able to pick which ability they want to steal. But Marvel Rivals is pretty fast paced. You might not really get the chance to do that in the middle of a
You
fight.
probably
So
wouldn't.
maybe that's why they did that.
And it looked like a
I'm
cutscene.
just trying to make sense out of it.
But then again, just like with the
Facts.
whole,
It's like a whole.
you said the same thing, right? The whole.
Okay. So like with the Hulk, when he goes into Super Hulk and he's stomping you,
Yeah.
you still, even if you deplete his health, you still can't end that cutscene. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's a shield.
I got you.
So they probably do it that way. So I mean, man, everybody, we've been talking in the group chat. Crazy Rogue is gonna be one of those ones. The team ups are cool. Team ups don't hit like they used to hit back in seasons ago. But I mean, I think all this is cool. The explosive entanglement is gonna go crazy because all those characters are going to get picked every round, damn near. Like you're going to get a mag for a shield tank. You're gonna have Rogue. People going to run Gambit. So that team up probably, depending on how powerful it is, you're going to be seeing that a lot unless you banning them. And I wonder how powerful it actually is. What you think about any of the new team ups?
So for the team ups, the one that I'm a little bit looking forward to is the Chilling Assault.
Okay.
Now I don't use Emma or Luna. I use Luna for a little bit, but I'm not just too big of a fan of Luna. But she did get a buff, so we might see more Lunas as well. But overall, I'm that Lord Iron Fist, man. So any team up of Iron Fist, and seeing that Emma specifically, knowing how much she's ran, I know that I'm gonna get this team up a lot, and it may or may not. I don't know who's the anchor for it though, but Just knowing that I'll get more Embers on my team if I am using Iron Fist, that's a good look for me. So that's really more so what I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Really specifically, you don't really see much Cloak and Dagger in the higher elo, so I'm not really worried about that. Or Psylocke really in the low elo. So I'm not really too worried about that one. But like you said, the explosive entanglement, Rivals knew exactly what they were doing with this team up because they know that everybody's going to pretty much be insta-locking all three of those characters for this season. So, I mean, they kind of had to just go with a team up of the three characters that everybody's pretty much going to use.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just was smart.
Big nod to them for going with the actual lore of the show. Or I mean, I know the 97 show. I mean, it's comically depicted, but just even doing that, like, you know, the 97 show made it popular amongst our generation. Like, all right, you know, people going even fuck with the lore of it as well. But that was going to be my next thing, because I think we talked about everything with the power. So we talked a little bit about the costumes. We're going to talk about that more. But I'm going to talk about Rivals lore. And I appreciate him putting it in the game as a comic book fan, a hero, like a fan of all these heroes. But I also feel like, damn, like, I mean, I don't know how much time they wasting doing all that. He's like, the Grandmaster needs the contract, man. Can you make the skins and drop the new characters? We don't give a fuck about the. What you think about them adding all the pieces? Am I missing something from it? Does it add more to the game? Am I being ignorant? Or what you think about that whole aspect?
No, I don't think you're being ignorant, bro. I feel as if it does have a place in the game for those diehard like comic book fans. And, you know, Marvel Rivals did originally start as a comic itself. So, you know, just them continuing that story and continuing it in the game, it does serve a purpose. However, I 1000% agree with you as far as Guang, Rivals, the rest of the devs. Come on, man. Y'all know it's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed and a lot of characters who need to either be confirmed or anything along those lines that you guys need to do. Maybe put some Easter eggs of characters that we may potentially see in the future because, you know, granted, the roster looks good, but if you ask a majority of people, a lot of people might say the roster is underwhelming. So
really?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of common characters, common known to people who may not even be the biggest Marvel fans. You know, people are still looking for Juggernaut as a tank. People, you know, like myself, I was a Spider-Man fan growing up before I really got into DC. I was Spider-Man heavy.
Yeah, I think everybody.
Why is Carnage still not in the game? You know what I mean? We need healers. We could do something crazy. Make Carnage a healer, bro.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of tweets recently where people are saying they should make Anti-Venom a healer. Like, the community is cooking for y'all. Y'all got to do something, bro. I mean, so as overall to answer your question, though, it serves a purpose, but you know, we got bigger things to address.
Okay. Well, that was all of that. My fault for cutting you off at the end. I was just saying that all the characters come with a custom made kit too. Like, they looked at the Rogue comic strip and said, you know what, this is what we're going to make their abilities. So it's like, you have the source material. Just go ahead and do that instead of, I appreciate it. But you said I didn't know that Rivals was a comic before this. How long did it drop? Was it like, was it out before? How long was Marvel Rivals a thing as a comic book?
So I'm not too sure how long it was a thing, but I do at least know that it dropped before the comic books. Okay. I mean, before the game dropped. My apologies.
That makes sense. I don't think it was around too much. I haven't been into comic books or reading them for a long time, but I never seen it growing up. But that joint, it makes sense if you're saying it that way. And for people that's into that lore, I don't say don't do it, but just definitely, I do know that y'all have like files and pages of lore, and it's like, we have files and pages of heroes that you want to get to. Like, I didn't even think of Carnage being a healer and so forth and so on. But that season 5.5 update, nothing. I mean, they've been dropping new characters now. They've been giving us content. I can't get mad, and the characters been bangers. I feel like the money that they making, they could do it at a more consistent rate. But I mean, pretty much, this is one of my more consistent games. So I can't say that I'm too mad at him and stuff like that. But that's kind of my conclusion on the season 5.5 update. Broski, if you got anything else that you want to do, make sure you plug your channels at the end too. But anything you want to say, final remarks, the floor is yours.
Brody, I don't really have too much more I want to say. The only thing I will say is I just piggyback off of what you said as far as they have been cooking with the characters, at least starting from this season and going into what is this, 5.5?
It's
8.5? 5.5? 5.5. Why I said season 8 is crazy. But yeah, season 5 and season 5.5 specifically, they have been cooking with the characters. You know, Rogue and Gambit, they were teased, they were confirmed. The community speculated that, you know, one should be a tank, one should be a healer, and they delivered. So, you know, I got to give them their props on that, as obviously that they're listening to the community. So, you know, hopefully they continue to do so and just be able to trust in the Rivals community and know that, you know, granted, those quick play and competitive matches may be toxic at times and, you know, we might have sore losers or throwers or whatever, but at the end of the day, we all just want a good game, bro. So, you know, if they listen to us, keep listening to us. You know, I think this game will still have a lot of longevity and plenty more seasons to go. They just got to add the right characters and make them the right roles. And that's pretty much it, though, man. It's looking good. I can't wait for the season on Friday. I believe it's Friday. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it. Specifically looking forward to that Ultron buff, though, man. I want to get back on Ultron. He's actually finally usable.
So talk about that just a little bit, because I've seen TikToks, but I didn't see anything in here about the buff. So he got buffed, and why is people feeling so confident? Because I feel like Ultron was kind of like in Final 13, like he was never used. So what did they do to kind of make him usable? They gave him more health, more damage. Like what happened?
So with Ultron specifically, his firewall move that now not only grants him some bonus health, but whoever it's locked on, they get a movement boost.
Okay.
And they get bonus health as well. And so now he can give people movement boosts. And you remember the drone that Ultron had where he could just put it on one person? Unfortunately, they did not increase the amount of healing it did. They're still sticking to the previous nerf that he got. However, they now increase the amount of drones he can specifically dish out. So now Ultron can have 2 drones at one time on 2 different people. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Ultrons this season in triple heal comp, just simply because of the fact that now, you know, let's say somebody's using Ultron and I'm on Iron Fist because we're getting destroyed by a Doctor Strange or, you know, some type of tank that I know I could take out a Groot. Something is easy for me to switch to Iron Fist to. All I got to do is just ask Ultron to put the bot on me. I don't have to. I got the parry. I got my own healing, and I got Ultron's healing. I'm pretty much not going to die, bro. Yeah. So, you know, given the amount of strategies and the amount of, you know, teamwork and effort that we can now create, given the one additional Ultron bot and, you know, the additional healing and the movement speed and everything like that, Ultron's actually pretty usable. And his damage output is okay. You can argue that it's a little hard to hit his shots. You do got to be a little accurate. But overall, I mean, I feel as if they found that middle ground for him. But I know they wanted to nerf him because the triple heal comp was getting ridiculous. But we will see him back in the triple heal comp. And I don't think he's broken. And they also reduced his ult charge. I mean, they increased his ult charge again. So, you know, with his increased buff, they're still balancing out by making it so where he won't get his ult as fast. So I think they did him right this patch or this update. We'll just have to see.
No, that's definitely right. They definitely gave him more healing. So that's good because I feel like that was one of the previous seasons where they would waste a character drop, where Ultron is one of them big name characters, big villain, especially in the current MCU, and it's like, damn, y'all give this man one bot to heal a team of 6. Like, what are we doing? But I'm glad to hear all of that. Like, that works for me. But yeah, with all that news, I think I'm gonna cut it here.